Hello, welcome to the American Business Podcast. This is Kevin Deveji, your host. I'm welcoming you the American Business Podcast episode 87, and we are in season 3. The American Business Podcast is the voice of American business. And today's number, let's bring a more exciting number today with our guest. Today's number is 5.4 billion. There are 5.4 billion social media users in the world. Today we'll talk about social media, marketing, best practices on marketing, and other subjects that we can utilize as business people to expand and grow our businesses. Let's welcome our guest and let's get the conversation started. Hello, Madison. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for being with us in your busy schedule. How are you? How is your week going so far?
I've had a great week. We closed 4 new clients this week. We closed 3 last week. So I am very happy today.
Well, congratulations. Then that's a great week. And today is Friday. Fridays are good days in general. We all feel good. And that's the time for us to wrap up the week pretty much. So that's a great day. And you share the good news from your point of view. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well, why don't we get started if that's okay? So marketing and social media and business strategy is actually your expertise, and we have a lot to learn from you. As I mentioned in the beginning of our podcast, today's number is 5.4 billion, and that is the number of social media users in the world. So billions of people are using social media, and that's very important. And we'll talk about it in more detail with you today, and we'll learn from you. As a start, would you please introduce yourself and your organization to our audience and to our viewers, please?
Absolutely. My name is Madison Holloman. I'm the owner and founder of Mad Marketing House. We are an authentic social media marketing agency located in Augusta, Georgia, but we service clients all over the US, from New York, California, Miami, and we have a full team of creatives, and we work with very prestigious luxury brands to personal brands to smaller business. We literally do it all. And we probably spend close to 1,000 hours a week on the social media platform. So we know almost anything that you can when it comes to social media, just because of the amount of time and people that we are able to dedicate to these platforms.
Yes, social media is very exciting as a subject, and now AI is coming in, which we'll discuss in a minute, and it makes it even more colorful and important for businesses, of course. Would you please tell us about your career path, how your career path has evolved and unfolded over the years?
Yep. So I started as in college. I started a screen printing business, and I sold and printed T-shirts to different schools and businesses, and I paid my way through college that way so that I could graduate debt free. While I did that, I also worked for my dad. He owns an international brand. They sell a $2 million product, which is a boat, and they service clientele that are billionaires, princes, celebrities. So I grew up in this household, this entrepreneurial household, witnessing him build this business for the past 25 years. So I worked underneath him and helped him with graphic design, and I self-taught website design. And while I was doing this and after I graduated, I started working for a plastic surgeon. I knew that my dad and I couldn't work together forever. We were way too much alike. And I took a job working for a very prestigious plastic surgeon in Augusta, Georgia, and worked for him for 2 years. And I always knew that I wanted to have an agency one day, but I really did not think I would own an agency at 24 years old. I thought, I need to wait till I'm a little bit older, till people can kind of take me serious. I'm only 29 still. I've had the agency for 5 years. And to this day, when I tell people how old I am, they're pretty shocked that I am as young as I am. But I think it comes with the maturity of being the oldest of 5 girls in this household, of where all of our conversation are surrounded by business. So I have always been obsessed with making money, because it was such an easy way for you to put effort in something and get an immediate return, depending on how hard you worked on something or how smart you were able to be when you did something. So fast forward, we're 5 years in now of owning the agency, and we have a dream roster of clientele.
That's really exciting and inspirational, of course. Can you tell us your day-to-day work? What are the exciting and challenging parts of your work on daily basis?
So my days look completely different depending on the week. I am traveling every other week at this stage. We've been in this huge scale stage of the business, and I've basically been saying yes to everything. And what sets our agency apart is we travel to our clients and shoot content of them. So I have a full internal staff of photographers, videographers, editors, social media people, and how we have been able to be as successful as we are is we provide all that support internal. So usually we have a team boots on the ground somewhere shooting content for a client, and then we'll have a team internal here in Augusta, Georgia, working in office, supporting our local clients. And we do everything from shooting content, writing captions, doing outlines, writing emails, doing web design. We literally do it all. Every day is never the same. And you can ask anybody that works for me, they know, like, you may go into work one day thinking you're going to do one thing. And then at the end of the day, you're like, wow, we were just thrown all kinds of curveballs because we're in social media. This world is constantly changing and evolving. So you have to be quick on your feet.
Absolutely, and you work with different businesses, and that's a great opportunity to learn from them, and learn about their goals, business goals, and their challenges at the same time. I'm sure that's also a great learning experience and opportunity in that
Yeah, I mean,
sense.
it's fun to be able to come in and like provide a solution. Provide a solution for somebody that has a pain point and be able to say, okay, if we can apply this strategy and tweak it each quarter, we're going to get you where you need to be business wise. Or maybe it's just awareness. Like maybe somebody's coming to us and saying, my competitor is doing X and it's driving me nuts and I want to be better than them.
Absolutely, absolutely, that makes a lot of sense. And from marketing point of view, when we think about ROI, eventually marketing is an investment that we position in certain ways to get certain outcome to increase sales as well as brand recognition. So from this point of view, what are the best marketing practices nowadays in terms of getting the ROI?
We pride ourselves on being authentic and vulnerable on social media. So, being able to shoot content of people in their space with their team, their clients, their examples of their work, and just showing up like you would any day, and being able to do a mix of really polished, aesthetically pleasing content versus doing some UGC, which is user generated style content, whether you're shooting something yourself and clipping it together and putting text over B-roll or text over like, interview style type content. And we found that when you can show up on social media and be your true self and it not just be a highlight reel, people resonate with that and you build trust through that. And when you have trust, it fuels your sales. So we found there's a direct correlation between, and it's psychological as well. Like when you see something that resonates with you, you want to share that with somebody, or you want to send them a message and be like, oh my gosh, like your message really spoke to me. And then that person's on your radar. So you've already kind of broken down the barrier of building that trust with somebody through like digitally.
Absolutely, yes. And that's a popular subject, of course, nowadays. And I like to get your take. How do you see the impact of AI on business nowadays?
I think AI can be a really amazing, and I think it can also be very dangerous. So, obviously, on social media, we're constantly seeing videos and photos of things that are AI, and it's becoming a little bit more difficult to be able to determine the difference between AI and real life. As somebody that works in the field, I can immediately look at something and know that if it's real or not. I have more clients now that are coming to me and saying, hey, like, I want to use more AI content. And personally, I rather just make that content for them instead of having to deal with AI. But I think as long as we can, generate ideas, and our team uses it a lot for writing captions or outlines or kind of getting our creative juices flowing because we're working with so many people consistently every day. It's a great starting point to then take and put that human mind behind it and utilize it.
Actually, I have another podcast. I'm a co-host, and I have a colleague that we are running the podcast together. Two guys, all things tech, and we talk about AI all the time. And one of them is just like you mentioned, the impact of AI and how to regulate it. And to your point, may be very beneficial to the maximum level. At the same time, depends on how you use it. Then it may be also scary too. So that's an important point that you mentioned here. So it depends on how you utilize it.
Absolutely. Especially when it comes to running ads. Our team runs a lot of paid ads on Facebook and Instagram Meta. And we found I'm such a control freak when it comes to how my creative and my campaigns look. When you turn AI on, they immediately adjust how things look and they will change it. And especially when you're going through a process with the client where you're having everything approved down to the hashtags or the words used, when you turn that AI on, it completely adjust all of it. So you have to be careful when and how you utilize it. And I think as long as we can continue to monitor it and control it as much as we can, it will obviously be to our benefit.
Yes. Well, I like to shift our conversation towards role models and mentors. Have you had any role models, any mentors who help shape your career path over the years?
Absolutely. I would definitely say growing up and witnessing my dad build a business, he was kind of always that figure to me. And to this day, I'll have something like a really big problem or something that I need to find a solution for. And I'll call him and ask him his advice, and he'll advise me on things. And usually he's literally been through all of it. And he can tell me, hey, like you can make your own decision, but you probably need to do this to make sure that it works out better and you don't have to go through it the hard way like I did. But I would definitely say he's been a really big mentor and was obviously a role model for me as a little girl and her dad. I mean, we all look up to our dads. And I would definitely say when it comes to like women that are successful, I think somebody that's done an amazing job is Sarah Blakely, as she's built Spanx. And, you know, as somebody that was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, that's where she's headquartered and lives. And it was really cool to watch her build this insane. I'm wearing Spanx right now, like this insane business and platform, and the way that she was able to exit her company and then also give back to all of the women that worked for her and men was just like so inspirational, I think, for every woman in business at the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if there is one key career lesson that you learned the hard way, what would it be that you can share with our audience and listeners?
Definitely process things and do not react. So, as a very young boss, there would be times where I would be triggered by things, whether it was a client or an employee, and I would immediately react and usually negatively. And I found that if I can sit back and be calm and process what's happened and process my emotions and then respond, I'm more logical, I'm more professional, and it's definitely hurt me in the past by not living by that. But to this day, I always pause and reflect, and then I react and usually have a better solution.
Absolutely. And that's also very inspiring. It is hard. It is hard.
Mhm.
I mean, you really, they articulate very well for us to understand. I truly appreciate it. But at the same time, we all experience it in some form, right? And when we
Yes.
think about it, it's really hard to constrain yourself sometimes and then take a deep breath and just calm down and
Mhm.
think through it, which is the best way. Absolutely, there is no doubt about it. And it also, brings my mind. So Lincoln used to write letters to
Mhm.
his opponents, right? But he wasn't sending them. So he was just writing them and then just get it
Yeah.
off the chest, but just keeping the letters. So
Mhm.
that always comes to my mind as a practice, just a way to constrain yourself, calm yourself down, get it off your chest in a way, but just keep it to yourself. So
Usually I
that's
call my husband and I'll be like, this is what's happened. And then he'll be like, Maddie, it's fine. You're just relax. It's not as bad as you think it is. And he's like kind of like my voice of I say that he's my silent partner because he's not
yes,
technically a partner in the business,
makes
but
sense.
like I have to have him to be able to function to the level that we do. So
Mhm. Yeah, that's lovely. I mean, that's great to have a soulmate and compete each other, right? So that's amazing. Well, so we have one question which has actually come to us from our audience. And it happens to be an interesting question, and we get different answers. If you had a chance to go back history, historically or personally, to what time period would you like to go back and why?
I think I would probably like to go back to right after COVID or right around when COVID happened. I remember that time and I was working for somebody during 2020. And if I would have stepped out and started the agency 12 months before I did, I feel like I really could have capitalized because, after COVID happened, the economy erupted. There was all this money being flooded into the economy. And I feel like that's why our business grew so fast because starting on the back half of 2021, when everybody was like done with COVID and there was all this funding, all these business owners were spending money. So if I could go back and start the agency even 6 months or 9 months sooner, I wish I would have because it would have just continued to catapult us into a bigger growth mode for sure.
So, as a business owner, you've been through certain experiences to grow your business, to run your business, and to further it. So, in times of challenges, how to stay motivated and inspired?
So usually I try to read as many books as I can. Mel Robbins' The Let Them Theory book is like an iconic book. And just when she's talking about the things that she went through in her life before she got to the stage where she's like, just let them. And I feel like when I can dig into books or podcasts, or I can just get on social and my algorithm just feeds me entrepreneurial content of like, basically, don't sit there and cry, like get back up and figure it out. Cause we're all built differently. Entrepreneurs are built different. And I think if you can just quiet your mind and be able to feed it with a podcast or a book or an inspirational page, that will really kind of completely shift my mood and my thought process and kind of get me back on track mentally.
And in terms of social media, how do you use social media? And over the years, how social media help you grow your business?
So we use obviously all the major platforms, Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn, Google, YouTube. And when we started the agency in 2021, we doubled our business every year for the first 3 years. Like money was cheap. It was easy to grow and scale. It was all natural referral. Year 4 really kicked us on our back. We literally one day I received a phone call and was told that 60 to 70% of my recurring revenue was going out the door. They were taking it internal, and they were actually hiring an employee that I had passed, that I had trained. And this was a couple weeks before I was having my third baby. So in that moment, I really didn't know how I was going to turn the business around that fast. At the time, I had a really large staff. I think I had 8 to 9 people on staff at that time. And once I got back after I had the baby about 2 weeks later and really thought, okay, what am I going to do to turn this business around? I was like, and it was actually something my dad said to me. He's like, Madison, you own a social media agency. Like, just apply all the things you're doing for these other people to your business. And that's literally what we did. We just started posting consistently every day. We found out what our 3 avatars and 3 different audiences were, and we created content that spoke to them directly every day. We cold messaged them on Instagram and said, hey, your page needs help. We have a solution for you. I would get on these calls with people and I would just give them a strategy for free because I knew that if they saw my strategy and they would sign, and they basically did. And then we started running ads, we started boosting, and we just started doing all the things that I was preaching to everybody else. And it was like quickly 12 months later, I look back and we had tripled the business by just applying the social media strategies that we're doing for everybody else.
That's really exciting, also very inspiring. Um, well, do you have any career advice for the next generation professionals? especially those who are thinking about coming into your industry,
Get
marketing, social media
all
management?
get all the experience that you can get. Like, go get as many internships as you can. I think I had 3 or 4 internships. Most of them were free. We have an amazing internship program, but I do pay my interns because they work pretty hard. Get the experience, go work for a startup, because if you can go get plugged in at a startup and you're with them while they're scaling and growing, you're going to be at the top with them as they become successful. And if they fail, so what? You have all that experience of a startup, because what happens in a startup is you're literally just doing anything and everything you can to grow and scale the business. So there's all kinds of opportunity to just plug yourself in and learn. And the more you know, and the more that you're able to apply and do for somebody else or somebody else's business or even your own, the more success and the faster you are going to be more successful.
For those who like to be in touch with you, what are and also, of course, to learn more about your company and organization, what are the best ways to be in touch with you and your organization?
Follow us on Instagram, Mad Marketing House.
Well, thank you so much, Madison, for being with us in your busy schedule. It was actually a very inspirational conversation, interview, I must say. Thank you very much for being with us, and thank you for sharing your professional wisdom and insight with us in this episode of the American Business Podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, and I wish you and your family a great weekend.
Thank you too.
Thank you very much. Well, to our audience and to our listeners, thank you very much for listening today. Thank you very much for watching. We had another informative and inspirational The American Business Podcast episode. I hope you learned something that you can practice and implement in your business. It was actually very educational today, especially talk about social media management, and the impact of social media coupled with AI. That was actually important point we all keep in mind in terms of practicing it in our business on daily basis, as well as understanding the change business, because social media is not new, has been around for years. However, nowadays, because of the AI, now it's shaping and it's evolving to a different level that all businesses in different sizes can utilize. So in that sense, it was actually a great episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I liked it very much. Would you like to be a guest in the American Business Podcast? You can send us an email, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. We also welcome advertisers and companies who like to sponsor to promote their products and services. You can also send us an email for advertising and sponsorship inquiries, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. As you know, a couple of months ago, we got the YouTube Silver Award. The American Business Podcast is a growing business podcast that comes to you on weekly basis. And thank you for your support. Without you, that wouldn't be happening. And if you haven't done so, please go to our YouTube channel. This is our QR code right here. If you scan this, it'll take you to our YouTube channel right away. And please subscribe. And if you feel more generous, please share your thoughts and your comments in the comment chat box in YouTube. We'll appreciate your interaction, and we'll appreciate you sharing your insights and your feedback in our YouTube channel as well. We also like to welcome you to our website, americanpodcast.tv. You can learn more about our podcast on the website. Also, we share and publish the schedule for the American Business Podcast. You can see our coming episodes. Also, you'll be able to see the subjects that we will be covering. In that sense, it's up to date, and you'll be also able to learn more about our activities as well as the American Business Podcast in general. Great. What else is happening? Let's talk about our sponsors. Ms. Excel. If you like to learn Microsoft business software systems and other Microsoft software products, consider Ms. Excel. I have their QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code, go to their website, and also see their courses. They have all the list of courses and different schedules that you can pick the one that works for you, and you can sign up. Before you check out, also we have a discount code ABP 2025 that you can use with Ms. Excel and get the discount when you are checking out. If you are in the market for an ERP system such as SAP or Oracle, consider iTech Inc., iTech Consulting. They are specialized in SAP ERP system. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. That's fundamentally accounting system followed by and coupled with purchasing, asset management, and other business functionalities on one platform. And iTech is specialized in implementation and support of these software systems, SAP and Oracle. I also have their QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, it'll take you to their website, and you can learn more about their services, especially ERP implementation, configuration, and support services. And you can sign up their services as well. If you get in touch with them, make sure you got the information from the American Business Podcast. As you know, we have an online business networking event called the Connection America. The next one is scheduled for November 21st. This is limited in terms of how many business professionals can join. So please act now to connect and register for the American Business Podcast streamed Connection America Business Networking event. That's a really unique business networking opportunity. It is because you'll be networking with other business professionals. At the same time, you'll be live on the American Business Podcast, and Business Podcast, thousands of business-minded followers and subscribers. So that's a great opportunity for you to introduce your company, your products, and your services. Also, I'd like to invite you to our membership program. The American Business Podcast membership program, ABP membership program, has launched, and we have various membership types that you can choose from, and they all come with a certain list of benefits that you can enjoy as a token of our appreciation. When you scan this QR code, it'll take you to our membership page. You can see the membership types that we have, and you can pick the one that'll work for you. And I hope you can join us as a member and you support the American Business Podcast. I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for your interest. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next The American Business Podcast episodes. The American Business Podcast is the voice of American business. Thank you very much and have a great weekend.